Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is April the 7th, 2019. Your source of news before any trade decision. We're going to give you all an update on the stock market outlook, depression. You hear a lot of people on these media and these pundits trying to persuade a emotional mental feel in the minds of a lot of people who are interested in the financial markets. And we're simply here to give you all the unbiased news according to the price charts, to give you all some ease as to what we're seeing listed on this price chart as to what the economy or even specifically the financial markets are going to do overall. Okay, so this is just a update of what we did on our last video about our stock market outlook and how so many people are insinuating that we are going to embark on a depression, a recession. And the last time we did this video, we told you all that the market wasn't getting a lot of that weakness and a lot of that scared feeling that so many people are trying to instill on their videos, on their articles, and even on television. Okay, so we just want to give you all an update. Before I do that, I definitely want to plug in our own website, HueFinancial.com. There we are placing a lot of our own news, our press releases, our stock market thoughts, a lot of the things that we feel is pertinent to our clients. You guys can go ahead and go to our website, HueFinancial.com. The link is going to be in the description of this video. We do have some paid packages to where we are offering our clients and only our clients the ability to see what we are noticing on these price charts that is not available anywhere else. It's relatively cheap. It's not going to take a lot of your own funds as so many other people are trying to get you all to purchase. Okay, this is relatively easy and not confusing. Now let's go ahead and get started and see how the market has ended the week for the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, as well as the Dow. These three indices are the overall composite of a lot of basket stocks, and it gives you a general feel of what the financial markets are doing on the United States. Okay, now the NASDAQ, as you guys can tell, has done a pretty good job relating to what direction the market is feeling. Okay, these last 3 weeks in the market in the NASDAQ continues to reflect to us that yes, there was opportunities to where we saw some weakness come into the market, but they were overcame by the market participants, and it continues to show us that there's still some higher prices involved for the NASDAQ. It might even make all-time highs next week or this coming week for April 2019. Okay, the last time that the NASDAQ came up to this particular point was during the month of August and September, and then right here during the month of October 2018. So when we saw the major dip in the NASDAQ was in October 2018. We're right back there again. And will the market endure what it came through back in October 2018 is yet to be seen. But what I can tell you is that the strength in the NASDAQ is still there, and the continuation of higher prices is still anticipated. But you want to pay attention to what has already occurred in the background of that chart. Right here, that 7,700 point area is the last point of resistance for the NASDAQ. Now, what we have endured already for the last 3 weeks insinuates that the expectation of the NASDAQ making all-time highs is definitely there. We can see it on the horizon, and actually we're still expecting the NASDAQ to move higher. Just want to tell you all just to be a little bit cautious, because it has came to the 7,700 point price and it continues to show us weakness. Okay, so let's keep our eyes open on that. That's literally the only thing that this particular index have to pay attention to, and a lot of everyone else is seeing the same thing. So I am expecting the market to continue to move to the upside in the NASDAQ, and on top of that, it may actually make all-time highs. So now let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. Okay, now this is the same situation that we're seeing in the NASDAQ. The S&P 500 is still insinuating to us that it is on the cusp of making all-time highs. It might even happen this coming week. Like we said in the NASDAQ, the strength is relatively apparent. Just like in the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 over the last 3 trading weeks did see some weakness coming to the market, but the participants of the market literally bought up the selling that came into the space. So that tells us that the market is still insinuating higher prices are in store. Relatively easy the market is going to continue to move to the upside in S&P 500. Want to put it in perspective, that 2920 price level can be a resistance area in the S&P 500. Okay, so let's keep our eyes open. Literally, this is the only thing that we had to be on the lookout for, because I would be under the impression that more stockpile will come into the market around that 2920 price. Okay, but what occurred last week continued to insinuate that this particular index is ready for higher prices. We're anticipating the S&P 500 to continue to move higher in price as well. I don't see a lot of weakness coming in the market for the S&P 500, and even that 2920 is on the cusp of being broken to the upside, and might just be a quick touch, you know, maybe 2925, something like that, or maybe 2950, 2955 will be all-time high in the S&P 500. Then we might see another quick drop in this particular space. But currently, the sentiment in the S&P 500 along with the NASDAQ are positive. The overall market environment continues to insinuate that there's not a lot of pressure here to push these indexes to the downside. Not right now. Let's go ahead and look at the last one. It's going to be the Dow. Now this one is a little bit more weaker than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. I can tell you that. But nevertheless, you can see in the Dow that we almost are making a triple top in the market in the Dow. Okay, that can insinuate that we are on the cusp of some weakness coming to the market for the Dow. Okay, that 26,500 point level in the Dow, all the way up there to 27,000 points, are all areas to where this index cannot break above. Okay, that's the only thing in the market for the Dow that is hindering it from really making a moonshot higher in price. The last time that we came up here to that particular price, you can see, was back in October. So all three of these indexes saw major weakness come in right where we're trading at now. Now, we saw a major dump back then in 2018, but we're not getting that this go around as we're coming right back to try that price, 26,500 level. That continues to insinuate that this index as well is continuing to show us some strength in this particular market. The only thing that is leery is where we're trading, and that's simply right here at prior areas of resistance in the market. So be on guard. That's the only thing that we need to be on guard about for these three index, is the fact that they're trading around resistance, but I don't see a lot of weakness coming in on the Dow neither. It's a little bit more than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. You can see right here on this last trading day of last week that the market in the Dow did get some weakness, and it's all because of what occurred during or in the background of this chart. Okay, so right now all eyes are definitely on these three indexes making all-time highs. I definitely want to be the first to say that these are in contention to make all-time highs, and it might happen next week, and it might just be a very quick touch, and then we see another major movement back down to the downside. But currently the market is continuing to insinuate that it wants to continue to move to the upside. So that's going to be our expectation for these three indexes. Definitely from a risk probability, just want to keep your eyes open to see the retention of the strength in these three indexes, because if so, then the market will continue to shoot up higher, making all-time highs seemingly on a consistent basis. But overall, I don't see a lot of weakness. I'm still expecting these three indexes to continue to reflect strength. It might just happen relatively soon or quick, but the overall sentiment is still higher prices for the U.S. financial markets. Okay, so I just want to calm fears. We're giving you unbiased news. We really don't care if the market continues to move higher, moves to the downside. We literally just want to show you all the news according to the charts without complicating things, because everyone else just makes this complicated. And all you really want to know is, where is price going to go? What's the probability of these indexes, these stocks, these commodities, cryptocurrencies of moving higher or even moving lower? Well, that's why we're here, to show it to you relatively easy and give you a format that is conducive to understanding. So there you go. Make sure you all maintain your profitability. Again, go ahead and check out our website, HueFinancial.com. Go ahead and select one of our packages so you guys can continue to get information that is not privy to no one else, so that you can be in the know while everyone else is not. Make sure you all maintain your profitability, and I will see you all later.